So in this lesson, we are moving out of static electricity into current electricity. And we will start with cells and batteries, which are the source of energy for the for the circuit. So historically, we had what was called a voltaic cell. And this is a source of energy that generates current by chemical reactions involving two different metals or metal compounds separated by an electrolyte. So this primitive cell was named after Alessandro Volta. And it's not very practical for everyday use because, as you see down here, let's see if I can get that in the view here. It is, it has a beaker and pieces of metal, which are, you need two different types of metal, so you have a difference in electro properties so that the electrons will move from one type of metal to the other and generate a current. So this is why the light bulb was lit, but not very practical, and also it produces hydrogen gas when this is happening, so that's, as we know, highly explosive, so not great for putting in any device, but it was the first type of cell that was invented, so very useful, as it is the parent of the other ones. So the electrolyte that's inside this voltaic cell is a solution or paste that conducts a charge. And a battery is a connection of two or more cells. And there are many different types of batteries for different purposes. A few that you have around your house would be the AA, AAA, D, C, and AA and AAA, D, and C all have 1.5 volts. So there's one, and here's a C battery, which also has 1.5 volts, used for different purposes. And then here is a 9-volt battery. So this has a lot more power than the other two and used for different reasons. We can also talk about types of cells in terms of what is inside them. And so a dry cell contains an electrolyte that is a paste, so all your household batteries contain that. And this is a picture of that here. And then a wet cell contains an electrolyte that's a liquid. And this is an example here, and this is what you find in your car battery. Sulfuric acid is the liquid and very, very strong acid. Another way we can classify cells is in terms of how often they can be used. So we have primary cells that can only be used once, and secondary cells that can be recharged. So this is a chart of different cells for different uses. And so for example, you could see here we have a lithium ion cell, which is secondary, meaning can be recharged, it's dry, and it's found in your cell phone. So it's used because it can be recharged 300 to 400 times, has an excellent shelf life, and it's relatively expensive, though that's a con of it. So here are some questions that you can do. Page 443, number 2 and 3, and page 445, number 3, 4, 5. And that is the end of that lesson.